Alright, we just found our way through a maze, now we need to find a thing in that maze. Totally different situation. Having said that, truth be told, I have no idea where the thing we want to find in this maze is. Huh. I mean, presumably the treasure box here isn't just going to be... That's funny, they have analog controls for the going up and down. This is just you applying different amounts of pressure to the trigger. It's funny. But presumably what we're looking for isn't just going to be like sitting on some part of the maze somewhere, right? You would think not. Because it would just be out in the open. Oh boy, that looks real fun inside. Why does it look that way inside? Because it has something inside of it, that's why. Okay, well there's a secret tube network here. Ah, I had a feeling it was something like that. I had a feeling it would be something like you can go inside in the right spot. Okay. And I just kind of want to see. Where are the places you can go in here? So are there multiple entrances? There are a few entrances. Ooh, cool. Where is this relative to me? It's down below me there, I think? Quickest way is to go in through here, I imagine. This is weird how it's just every part of this surface is... Every surface inside of here is gravity. It's absolutely not going to be the case, but it is really cool to... Oh boy. Ah. Oh, the camera's... I got into a situation where the camera had been convinced that the gravity was changing, but the actual physics wasn't. It's funny being able to do this. I haven't seen this anywhere. But it's fun to imagine this secret passage actually being somehow useful for a quick run of this stage, even though it absolutely would not be. Oh, cool. Finally got that green one. Alright. Back to Radius. I recognize this one. This one took me a while the first time, I know for certain. The biggest problem was the very last part, if I remember correctly. It's another one of those stages that feels really, really like a really big deal the first time you see it back in the challenge update. But living in our current world where the challenge update isn't special anymore, it's just not that impressive. Earnest question. What was I going to say when I started proposing a question? I don't remember precisely what route I used to take here. I get the impression of something to the effect of this, because I'm pretty sure I tried to go up here and grab the... Okay, I approached it differently, but I was picking up that time travel there the first time I went through this stage, I'm pretty certain. Right, cool. Not where I was trying to go. And did I do something like... going all the way out? I didn't go that far out to the left, did I? I must have swung left a little bit, so I could swing right again afterwards. I hate how the camera will trick you into thinking that the gravity's changed and it hasn't. I guess the thing is... Oh, didn't I do something like... Yeah, here we go. I did something like that, didn't I? But... my guess as to why the camera doesn't just switch when the gravity does, is that they want the camera to switch a bit in advance of the gravity or something like that. But it causes so many situations where the camera thinks and thus makes you think that the gravity's changing even though it actually hasn't, which is kind of obnoxious. How in the world did I do this before? The physics being a bit different might be a problem here too, but it could also just be I'm forgetting how in the world I routed this before. I would actually quite appreciate getting confirmation from someone if the physics here has changed. Like, some way or another in the past, I was managing to do roughly this route. And I know the physics has changed between this and preached, you know, and non-ultra. So I'm curious if some of the challenges I encounter here are actually because of that. Kind of just go through here slowly. Like this. Don't imagine that's the most efficient way of doing this. But truth to be told, it seems like a pretty okay way of doing it. Oh, look at that coyote time. Very good. I keep forgetting the timing. Well, I'm not sure how this game coyote time works, because it seems to exist to some degree. How in the world did I pick up the time travel? But at the same time, it's extremely rare I notice it. Which, I mean, yeah, you don't usually expect someone to notice. Okay, threading the needle. You don't usually expect someone to notice coyote time too much, but I mean more in the sense that I did not have to go this slowly up here to get right this before, I'm certain. I mean more in the sense that there are all sorts of occasions where the thing that coyote time is supposed to prevent happens, where I just happen to press the jump button a moment too late and nothing happens as a result. Ah, come on. Maybe my worship of this particular time travel is unwarranted. It could just be that I think it's good to get because I remember not seeming too inefficient to get the first time I went through the stage. But circumstances may have changed too much for that to make sense anymore. I'm not certain. Almost. This is a longer stage too, so I do need to not be ridiculous about doing things I can never do consistently. Failing a different way every time too. We have a lot more stage left after this. But yeah, coyote time is not usually something I notice in this game. Also, I'm just flailing about, jeez. Come on. But it clearly exists, and I believe someone confirmed its existence at one point too early on. What am I doing? Remember back when it actually felt like a cool, smooth, slick, impressive thing to do those couple hops at the very beginning? Now it just feels very normal. Riding up the wall the way I do there. Ah! Give me this thing, I guess. I don't know. I kind of need to get back up here. I don't have enough momentum in me to get up the other way, I don't think. Of course, and then you have this bar, which is a bit of a pain. I managed to get through the I've had at least one case where I managed to get through everything up until the last segment pretty quickly, back in the first game. You know, back in the non-ultra version. But then completely wasted a bunch of time on the very end. Because it is also fairly tough, the parts that you have to go through at the very end. So being a somewhat different sort of challenge. This is a longish stage that has kind of just two segments. They're just different things that they're asking you to do. All sorts of management of your momentum on awkward angles here. These couple jumps right here, they felt like such a crazy thing to do back in the challenge update for some reason. Definitely not anymore. We have at least gone to the second part of the stage at this point, and the second part of the stage is not long actually, it's just difficult. So me having gone into it is, well, if I can get to it consistently, I think we're good. If I just get a few tries at the second part, I'm certain I can get it all in one go at some point. It's just not trivial to do all in one go on the first try. So I don't really know how to best approach this part either, but I can probably calm down a little bit knowing that parts of this are just on a cycle anyways, so there's probably substantial limits to what I can really pull off anyhow with it. Like, should I have gone forwards there? I don't even know. I guess the slow thing to do here is to wait. Cool. Good jump. Yeah, I was only gonna have a route through here, which seems kind of dumb. Feels like I should. I don't have to worry about going too fast on this part just because it's on a cycle anyways, I guess. It's like this part here. So I can go through here and pick up this time travel, which is very appealing. But then I realized, oh wait, I have no way of proceeding from here. So I guess I shouldn't try to pick it up like that. I can't tell how much I should be waiting for stuff and not in this stage. I can't make that jump. So I feel like I somehow managed to go through this part quickly back in the challenge update, but I don't really understand how. Maybe I just didn't. I thought I managed to go quickly up until I grabbed this time travel. I was hoping my spin would kick me a bit more to the right there than it did. And since when can't I do that jump? Yeah, we're still at the point of me trying to even consistently do the beginning parts for some reason. I do have a route that I think is fairly consistent through a good chunk of this. Not consistent in the sense of me doing it consistently, but in the sense that I have a good idea of where I want to go. Right here. And to here. So that all that I think I'm fairly consistently content with. The rest I'm less certain about. Yeah, from there on I don't quite know where I'm going. I haven't decided anything yet. What am I... Something about this stage, I guess it's just being at awkward angles so often. It feels like I'm messing up basic jumps all the time. That was not the right angle to skew the gravity towards, but we're fine. From here, I just don't know where I want to go from here. I really do not. Can I jump on top of that? Do I want to jump on top of that? Maybe that's it. Once I get that part consistent, and that's kind of the last section of the first half of this stage. So then after that, once I get that part consistent, I can worry about the last part that's actually kind of hard. I don't know what I'm doing there. I don't know where I want to be. What was I trying to jump up to last time? And sometimes I just manage to do something like that where I think to myself, wait a minute, how was I ever able to make this jump? Despite me doing it most attempts. Oh, whatever, I'll just keep going for practice. And up we go. So, where was I trying to go last time I was here? Where was I trying to go? I don't even remember now. There was some platform I thought there was a moving platform that seemed barely possible to jump on, and I didn't manage to jump on it. Just for reasons of height. But now I can't even see where that was. I thought it looked like a way up to a time travel as well. It wasn't up here though. Where was I? I do not know now. And both the time travels I see there, I don't see ways of getting to them that don't involve extremely uncomfortable gravity or having to slow down a whole lot to progress. To the point where the time travel wouldn't be worthwhile. Hold on, I can just... Why am I not doing this? Should I just do that essentially and not miss the cycle, of course? I feel like that makes sense to do. Is that the route? That might be the route I want to do. Okay, I got none of the things I wanted. If I could be... I'd have to be weirdly fast to try to get the cycle for that, though, I feel like. It's like I can do any better by speeding up the earlier parts, because the early parts are on the cycle, too, that leave me unable to save time at the start. Could we not do that? Or that? I want to at least figure out the route before I end this episode. If I can at least do that and feel like I know what to do here next time, I'll be somewhat content. Because also the game feels kind of dumb after having done this stage before, but again, maybe the physics changed and it changed what's feasible or something, or I just completely forgot what I did before. And or just had no idea what I was doing last time either. It's also very feasible. Also, don't turn me around like that, jeez. I do need to be able to even get to where I was to try to attempt the next part to begin with. Okay, so what I'm thinking here is I kind of just want to get through here really quickly and then... I don't know how to try to make the cycle here well. Yeah, I don't know how to try to... And I can grab the time travel there while not making the cycle, and that'll save me a little bit of time, I guess. Just so I lose less time from not making the cycle, but I feel like you really want to try to make it. I'm only barely missing it. I also don't especially see how I could feasibly make it with how it's going. That feasibly could have been it right there. If I didn't manage to get stuck in the tiny hole. It's just a very tough cycle to make. And approaching it with sideways momentum doesn't make it any easier. But I have an idea of what I want to try to do. I just want to confirm that's even possible to do. With any degree of consistency. There are some cases where I manage to bounce without actually jumping while holding the jump button. That bothers me. I'm not really sure how to interpret that. I don't know what it means if I manage to bounce off something without jumping off of it while holding the jump button. I don't know what puts me in a situation where that's something that can happen, as opposed to anything else more reasonable happening. Okay. So that is what I want. That's what I'm trying to do. At which point I promptly throw myself off the ledge. But if I can do that somewhat consistently, and then also figure out how to actually route myself over to the checkpoint, I'll be content, because then that just leaves the second half of the stage. Which is really just pure execution. There's not really any routing or anything to think about there. And it's just doing the same thing a couple times over and over. That's not what I wanted, thank you. Bloody hell! Jesus! It was going okay, but man! I didn't press the D-pad once just then. Every time I reached to correct it, it just corrected itself and then messed itself up again right after. At least it does seem to be a demonstration that what I'm trying to do is a thing that can be done. Also, if I took a different route this time, why not? The reason why not is that it ruins everything. Come on. Don't fail to do even basic things now. I already was, but don't do that even more. Whatever, I just need to work out the timing and so on for this next part. I don't expect to actually finish it on this attempt. That was definitely way too slow, fortunately. Okay, well, having done that anyways, if I do jump up here, Where do I want to go from here? Just doing this seems fine enough, right? That's the thing I can do. Okay, next time I'll actually try to execute any of that.